What are the being in business for some years? What mistakes have you seen? A lot of especially young people. I want to talk specifically about young people that you have seen that they make in business starting out.
I'd say invoicing. The way that they invoice, the way that they get their cash flow in, the way that they monitor their expenses, understanding that they need to live, making sure that they have their financial ideas and structures, the pillars that really give you a solid foundation in place. And a lot of people don't do that. They get messed about, they get hurt, they get lost by not having some structure. My brilliant friend Khosi Monemetsi, who manages a R1 billion fund now, he's an amazing business person. He would always say to me at the beginning when we were finding ourselves, we shared a house together when we were varsity, he would say to me, Rowan, you're spinning. You're so busy you don't know what you're doing. You're so busy, you're just like, it's too busy. He said, you're building your ship out at sea.
Out at sea.
You've left the harbor with a ship that needs to be built and you're building it out at sea. You're out in open water when you need to be sailing and operating. You're building your ship out of the harbor in the open ocean. That's not going to help you. Get back to the harbor, figure out your full picture for that week or that month or that year. Build that ship in the harbor, safe, focus, structure, get it ready, then go sailing. Then you can deal with the rough seas because you've got a ship that's intact. And I think about that a lot. I think a lot of people tend to work too much in their business, not on their business. That's another thing that...
what is the difference?
So I went to a fellowship in Austria after being recognized, and they said, come over to Austria, we're going to teach you because you seem to be leaning in this purpose-driven and profit-driven scenario where your company is doing good, but it's also making money. So how does that work? So I go to this fellowship, and one revelation that came to me was they said to me, don't work in your business, work on it. So for example, as business creators, owners, operators, you're creating jobs for people. So you've got to work on that, not in it. If you work too in it, then you get lost and you don't go get the clients. You don't keep the ship afloat. You get stuck inside the ship trying to fix the engine. But actually what you're meant to do is see whether or not you should sell the ship and buy a new ship for your staff or your crew. You've got to be on the business, not too much in it. You can't be a staff member in your own company. You've got to be the person that goes out and gets the deals, that works on the company. Does that make sense?
It does.
I don't know if that was my best explanation, but I've never forgotten it. And I live by it because I think that, and if you train the people around you to think the same way, then what's happening is if you're out at a bar and you work at a company, again, this happened to my dad, and I love my dad. He's a great business person, so I got a lot of lessons from him.
Yeah.
He was sitting there and he was working at a bar. No, he was working at an ink company, and he would go to bars where decision makers had, most of the time it was golf clubs back then.
Yeah.
He was a good golfer. He'd go and have a drink with the players, and these players were CEOs. And one thing that was so amazing about what he did was he said, I'm going to go and get contracts signed. I'm an employee of this ink company. I'm not a manager, or I'm not a partner. But when he got hired, he negotiated a contract that said, whatever revenue I bring into this company, I get a commission from.
Oh.
And this is what happened. He started making more money from his commissions than the general managers of the company, and they wanted to fire him. The general managers were jealous that the CEO had signed this deal with him as an employee. But he went out and showed attitude and Jewish word chutzpah. He went out and challenged. He was hungry. He got deals signed that led to him making more money than upper management as a salesperson. And so his next job from that job was a big step up, a partnership in a bigger company, because he had leverage. He was a money maker. He was a doer. And so people need to understand that you have to go out and get contracts. You have to go out and get businesses. You've got to learn to pitch yourself. You've got to step correct. You've got to go in there, look people in the eye, say what you're going to do for them, make sure it has value for them, make sure it enriches you either in the long term. In the short term you suffer, but in the long term it's going to pay off, and you get it done. You deliver. If you don't deliver, if you don't keep your word, you're done. Doesn't matter whether or not you're online, face to face, this country, that country. These are universal truths.
Go out there, get your things done, deliver. You're done.
Yeah.
Rowan, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you have anything that you'd like to add in the conversation that we've just had.
Don't wait. Get going right now. Start, do something today, now. Pick up the phone, get off the social media, get into LinkedIn, start something, start a conversation with someone that wants to collaborate with you, walk into a business that you can work for or work with, start. Don't wait. Stop waiting. Whoever told you to wait, no more.
No more, guys. I hope you got something out of this. Rowan, again, really appreciate it. Guys, please make sure to subscribe. If this is something that you'd like to see more of, please make sure to go in the comment section, leave a comment. I would like to hear from you, some feedback. Really appreciate it. Rowan, thank you so much.
Oh man, you're brilliant. Keep it up, man.
Thank you, man.